Hey, Pretty Girl Club. We are the talk of the town here in these YouTube streets. Not only are we the Pretty Girl Club, but apparently we are also the Popular Girl Club because I just heard from you guys in my Discord about how I have a new thread about me. So, in case you guys haven't noticed, people have been talking about our community for a long time. Notice how a lot of people will tell us to get out of their spaces. They will say to get out of unambiguous women's spaces. If you can't relate to the content we're creating over here in the Black Women Empowerment space, create your own YouTube channels. And then when we finally decide to create our own YouTube channels and mind our pretty girl business, then suddenly we have the same group of people, or people who consider themselves to be more pro-Black than anything else. We have the same group of people who cannot stop talking about us. And then notice how these same people, a lot of times, if we go over to Black empowerment spaces, a lot of people will say, well, you guys are mediocre, you're not that cute, you're not that pretty, etc. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you being mixed. Nobody cares about your experiences. A lot of women will make talking points like that, but at the same time, when we're not around, we will be living in their heads rent-free. But guess what? They made this thread at the right time because it is roasting season, baby. So in this episode of roasting season, not only will I be going over this Reddit thread, but I will be digging through all of the internet streets to see what people have to say about us 9,000 exoticals over here on this channel. Let's take a look at this post. She says, has anyone seen this YouTube channel called Exoticals United? I think it's supposed to be a channel that uplifts mixed women, or at least that's what it claims to be. I went and binge watched a bunch of their content during a long car ride, and it seems like a lot of their content brings up the dynamics between Black women and mixed/light-skinned women constantly. Okay, so my first response to this is, if you do not like the talking points, or if you don't like the subject matter of the channel, why would you binge watch it? That's my first question, but let's continue. I mean, the name of their channel brings up red flags for me personally. Okay, question number 2. If you don't even like the channel name, I specifically called my channel by a name that was given to me, actually, by the Black Women Empowerment Spaces. My channel was started as a troll channel, and it was created to make satire out of the way that people were treating us over in the Black Women Empowerment Spaces. Not only that, but when you click on my channel, you can see my banner, and my banner describes and even has photos of exactly who this content is created for. So if you already don't like the titles, if you already don't seem to like the subject matter, and then you don't even like my channel name, why would you then go and binge watch it? That would be like if I went and binge watched a Red Pill channel right now. If I already don't like their name, if their name is something like Red Pill Manosphere YouTube channel, and I feel like that brings up red flags, or I don't like their banners or their titles, I personally would not spend my time watching them, because you do know that with every second of watch time you give this channel, you are causing my channel to go up further in the algorithm. You're causing my channel to gain subscribers. You're causing me to gain money that helps me pay my bills. And by the way, for those of you that are in the Discord, thank you for giving me this tea. But if you're not a part of the Discord, be sure to join the Patreon community. Then you will get Discord access, because I like to share a lot of secret information in the Discord, level up information, strategy information, and that is not for the public. But let's continue. She said, I mean, the name of their channel brings up red flags for me personally, and sometimes it feels like they want to paint Black women as the perpetrators of colorism, to be honest. Okay, first of all, I've said multiple times on this channel that colorism, racism, and white supremacy were created by white males. This is why I do not believe divestment is a solution to anti-Blackness and racism. This is the main reason why I speak against women who think that getting with a white man will solve all of their problems. Because why would you suddenly run to a guy who you have accused of starting white supremacy, or the main person that is casting these mixed and light-skinned women in these movies? A lot of people complain and say, oh, well, mixed and light-skinned women get all of the benefits of Hollywood. They get more shine than dark-skinned unambiguous women. Well, who's in charge of Hollywood? Who owns a lot of those channels that people are on? Who are the creators and the owners of a lot of these social media websites? For those who like to say the YouTube algorithm is colorist, the Instagram algorithm is colorist, all of these dating apps and stuff, they're colorist and racist. Who are the creators of all of these things? For the most part, it's who? White males. It's not MLS women. And so the talking point that I use on this channel is that we should not be punished for the way that we were born. Are you not perpetrating the same thing that you say that you are against? So my talking point to a lot of Black women empowerment content creators is, you say that you're against racism, right? You say that you're against treating people badly because of the color of their skin, but then you go and perpetrate that same behavior on people who are mixed race. A lot of people in the unambiguous Black community are racist against mixed people. Yes, being mixed is a race, and there are people who are racist against you if you're mixed, especially if you are mixed with white, if you are mixed and you have a lighter complexion, if you're mixed and maybe you have light eyes, if you are mixed and maybe you meet a particular beauty center. That's what I talk about on this channel. And this person also says, the thing is that while I was listening, and please don't shoot me for this, I thought they made some valid points through a lot of their videos, which I found surprising myself. Aside from clickbaity titles, again, if you believe something is clickbait, why click on it? Clearly it's not clickbait if you clicked on it and binge watched it, but okay. Their videos brought up a variety of topics relating to the mixed community that I just can't find anywhere else. But the channel name, video titles, and a few problematic quips I have heard are making me do a double take and reevaluate if this channel could be a pipeline into some sort of mixed supremacy rhetoric. Is that even a thing? First of all, yeah, I can tell that you probably have not binge watched my content as much as you say you have, because if you truly did binge watch my content, you would know that this channel actually is not for just mixed women. This channel, and I say it on my banner, this channel also includes monoracial Black women who are not mixed race, but they just happen to, because of their phenotype, they happen to look stereotypically mixed, or maybe they have a lighter complexion, or they have certain features about themselves that cause them to not fit in over in Black women empowerment spaces. So how could I make a channel that includes people who don't even have high admixture and then say it's a mixed supremacist channel? And also, have you ever noticed how whenever an MLS person creates anything that is empowering towards themselves, people suddenly accuse it of being supremacy? Like, oh, how dare you actually love yourself and think you're pretty? You're a white supremacist. Oh, how dare you actually love yourself and be light-skinned? Oh, you're a colorist. How dare you actually empower people who look like you? You're a supremacist. But also, this person who created this post is being disingenuous, because if I have that many red flags on my channel, if you don't like my channel name, you think my titles are clickbaity, and you think I am a mixed race supremacist, why would you then take time out of your day, not being paid for this, and create entire paragraph long Reddit posts about Exoticals? Now, if that's not being a fan, I don't know what is. But anyway, thanks for the watch time. Let's get into some of these comments. Someone said, it does seem like she blames colorism on Black women. Yes, I do believe that Black women, as well as Black men, do participate in perpetuating colorism. I will never back down on that talking point. I will never apologize for that talking point. I will continue to create whatever content I see fit on my YouTube channel, because this is my platform that I spent years building. So guess what? I get to say whatever I feel resonates with my talking points. I can only speak from my personal experiences, and I can only speak based on the things that I have observed and the things that I have studied. So if you call someone's hair nappy, or you say that mulatto is light skin with dark skin features, or you say that she is ugly because of her facial features, which happen to match more of the West African features, or if you say that women like LMI look ugly because their features tend to match more of the West African phenotype, then yes, I absolutely consider those types of things to be featureism. Also, when you, as a monoracial, unambiguous Black woman, when you only date light-skinned men, you only date white men, and you say that you want your babies to come out with quote-unquote pretty eyes and light skin, and etc., and you pedestalize people based on their skin tone, that is absolutely colorism. I don't care what color you are, but if you are participating in any of those behaviors, yes, you are perpetuating colorism. I don't care if you're Black, I don't care if you're white, I don't care what your skin tone is. So yeah, I'm not going to be scared to talk about the hypocrisy that I see in the Black community on this channel. I will continue to speak about it. Anyway, this commenter also says, but she also makes a lot of good points, and I get how she can only speak on the communities she has experiences with. But I think just like any other YouTuber, you have to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Who is following everything that every single YouTuber says in 2024? I guess that's my question. Like, I never expect people who subscribe to my YouTube channel to automatically agree with everything I say, automatically resonate with every single thing that I say. No, we are all human beings and individuals with unique experiences. Why is it that everybody else can say whatever the fuck they want? They can say things that are inaccurate, they can be a troll, they can have fun, they can laugh. But as soon as I do that, as soon as I come on here, I'm having fun, I'm trolling, I'm laughing, I'm having a good time with my community, then suddenly it's, oh, well, some of your points, I disagree with them. And why is it taken so seriously when I'm saying it? Have you ever noticed how if people subconsciously pedestalize you, they will automatically hold you to a higher standard? So other people can come online, they can be trolls, they can have fun, they can make jokes, they can do whatever. But suddenly, if you're the quote unquote light skinned person, if you're the mixed person, if you're the pretty girl, if you're the person from the suburbs, if you're the person who has any privileges above whoever it is you're talking to, then suddenly, nope, you're not allowed to make those jokes. Nope, Brianna Monique, you're not allowed to use the N-word, nappy, because you, Brianna Monique, do not have nappy hair. Notice how people try to do that same thing with us over here in the Exoticals United community. And also, again, if this community is not for you, how are you even policing a community that you're not even a part of? I don't see police officers coming from other countries trying to police what's going on here in America. I don't see people policing what's not a part of their community. No, you stay within whatever your realm is. You stay within whatever your community is. This is a community that I have built with the help of the people who support my content. And if you don't want to be a part of the community, that's totally fine. There are literally billions of hours of content uploaded onto YouTube every single month. So out of all of the other YouTube channels that you could be watching, people still choose to come to the Exoticals United channel. And I mean, to be honest, these comments on this Reddit post are not really bad, so that's why I'm not really going hard on these. But I do have some other posts that we're going to be going over in a couple of minutes. But for people who like to create posts about the perceived flaws of my channel, the first thing I have to say is there any person on this earth who doesn't have any flaws? Have you ever noticed how, as an MLS woman, as an exotical, or as a person where other people subconsciously put you on a pedestal but they won't admit it, they expect you, out of all people, to be perfect. Your hair has to be perfect, makeup has to be perfect, body has to be perfect, talking points have to be perfect, you have to be perfectly intelligent at all times. You are not allowed to make any mistakes. Have you ever noticed this projection? Because that is kind of what I'm noticing here, and kind of with people who like to criticize those who are in a position of leadership, or in their mind, they see it as a position of leadership. I don't view myself as, oh my God, I'm the leader. I'm like some sort of political activist. I've been saying this for years. I am not a political activist. I am not a teacher. I'm not a professor. I am not in any way, shape, or form someone who is trying to establish myself as some sort of cult leader or some kind of leader of a new movement. All I am is a content creator. I like making YouTube videos, and that's all I'm doing. I'm having fun tinkering with the internet, being an internet troll, and I'm going to continue to do so. So if you do not like this channel or this community, by all means, you can create your own channel. I mean, since you're so smart and since you have so many things to say, and since you can do it better, I'm going to give the same response that Crusty gave me. If you can do it better, or if you don't like this community and you want to build your own, nobody's stopping you. No one's stopping you from making your own channel. No one's stopping you from creating your own community. No one's stopping you from making your own Patreon and your own courses. By the way, thank you to the Exoticals who have defended me on Reddit and on Lipstick Alley. But let's get into this next post. This person says, the idea of being unambiguous. So I guess it's on some sort of colorism, light skin, dark skin debate on Lipstick Alley. This person says, the idea of being unambiguous. I do like Exoticals United's channel. It serves good for more mixed women who feel alienated from Black women. However, I take issue with her and her followers' idea of unambiguous. According to them, you have to look like you're a straight African to be classified as unambiguous. Damson Idris, Whoopi Goldberg, Viola Davis, etc. So my first response is, sis, I actually got my definition of unambiguous from channels like Crusty, Aloho, and other women who were already in the Black women empowerment space before me. So if you have an issue with the definition of the term unambiguous, then you actually have beef with all of the Black women empowerment channels, because I specifically use their definitions in order to build my YouTube channel as a counter channel. So if you feel like you can be unambiguous based on other features, that is totally fine. But when I use the term unambiguous, what I really mean is You do not get mistaken for other non-African ethnicities. Like nobody looks at you and says, oh, are you biracial or are you mixed? Like nobody looks at Damson Idris and says, oh, what are you mixed with, Damson? Oh, what? Oh my God, I thought that you were Blasian. I thought that you were this. I thought that you were that. That is what I mean when I use the term unambiguous. I'm using the same terminologies that they use over in Black women empowerment spaces. So why is it okay for them to use terms like unambiguous and then suddenly when I use it, it's not okay to do that? Or you don't like my definition. Well, by all means, Divine 136, tell me what definition of unambiguous you would like me to use. So this person goes on to say, unambiguous means not open to more than one interpretation or not mistaken for anything else. Yep, that's what I just said. According to those definitions, the following could also be considered unambiguous, but they are so-called mixed exoticals to her base. So Ryan Destiny is mixed. I'm not sure who the second person is. I think that this is Foxy Brown or Trina, one of those. I believe that she is mixed race as well. I've said this on my channel multiple times. Just like you can be mixed and white passing, you can also be mixed and black passing. And also, just because Ryan Destiny and Foxy Brown have a darker complexion, that does not make them less valid as mixed women. It doesn't make them less, like somehow they're lower on the totem pole. See, I can tell that this person who wrote this post is more than likely insecure about their own blackness or their own ethnicity because they're trying to make it as if Ryan Destiny or Foxy Brown or whoever this rapper is, they're trying to make it as if they somehow don't count because they look too black. And that is one of the talking points that I argue against very strongly on this channel. Because I've noticed that nobody keeps that same energy with Meghan Markle. Nobody keeps the same energy with Halsey. Nobody says, oh, you look too white. You don't count as a mixed person. So like, shut up. You don't belong here. No, but why is it that all of a sudden you want to make that argument with people who are dark skinned? Just admit that you are colorist against dark skinned mixed women and be done with it. This channel is strongly against colorism and anti-blackness against mixed people. So by you trying to invalidate people like Ryan Destiny doesn't defeat my talking point. She said the last two being her followers who insinuate that they don't look like regular black women because they have more non-black blood. No, most time when mixed women with brown skin look unambiguous, that means that they are of significant percentage or over half African DNA. So I'm not sure if she's trying to dox people who are a part of my community. If she is, then just in case, I'm gonna like blank out their faces. Again, this person who's commenting this, she seems to pedestalize looking non-black, and her standard of looking ambiguous means looking white. So that's another thing that I'm very against on this channel. White people aren't my standard, baby. I don't live my life based off of white people's opinions. I don't make whiteness the standard of the mixed race because there are more mixed race people, in my opinion. There are more mixed race people who are not white passing versus mixed people who look like Taylor Swift. So I don't feel like that's the standard of being ambiguous. That's another reason that I've argued against the Black women empowerment space, because anytime they say so-and-so looks racially ambiguous, what they really mean is so-and-so looks white. Just admit that when you say someone looks ambiguous, you're talking about people who look white. I believe that racial ambiguity means that you can look like multiple different racial backgrounds or ethnicities. So in my opinion, somebody like Chile from TLC actually does look ambiguous. Because Chile, in my opinion, she looks like some Filipinos I've seen before. She looks like some South Asian people I've seen before. She looks like some indigenous Mexican people that I have seen before. So in my opinion, she does look ambiguous. Like I said, I do not revolve my definitions around whiteness. You know why? Because I don't pedestalize whiteness like how you do. This person, they're trying to talk about the people in the picture. They said, this person claims Black, Armenian, and Native Indian. The second says that she is MGM with 2 mixed grandmothers on each side. In my opinion, both of these women in these photos look mixed race, but just in case they don't want their photos shown, I'm just going to block them out. But as far as description, I see kind of a browner skin, kind of darker skin woman with green eyes. And then on the other side is kind of a more Asian looking girl. Anyway, somebody went and defended me and they said those aren't her definitions. Her channel is in opposition to channels like Crusty that claim anything light is exotical and at times Eurocentric and thus not a representative of unambiguous Black people. Thank you for this exotical who came in here and set them straight, because my channel is literally based on whoever gets excluded from the Black women empowerment spaces, you're welcome on this channel. So that basically means being mixed or quote unquote looking mixed to the point where you get thrown in and out of blackness. That's who this channel is for. And then this person says Ryan Destiny was certainly called Eurocentric looking by channels like Crusty and people on here. Exactly. I've seen people talk crap about dark skin exoticals all the time. And people will try to they'll use colorism against light skinned people, whether you're mixed or not. And then they'll use texturism and featureism against darker skinned mixed people. So her showing a photo of Ryan Destiny and saying she looks like a regular black woman, that is a classic textbook humbling tactic. You want Ryan Destiny to feel insecure about her blackness. You want Ryan Destiny to feel insecure and inferior to women who look like Alicia Keys or women who are lighter. And that's the only reason you're calling out, oh, she looks like a regular black woman. First of all, there's nothing regular about Ryan Destiny. She's a freaking drop dead gorgeous model, actress, singer, and superstar. So first of all, there's nothing regular about her. So that just oozes jealousy because you're literally trying to call out somebody and you're trying to humble them because they have a closer phenotypical proximity to blackness rather than whiteness. But for those of you who follow this channel, you know that I don't make whiteness my beauty standard. I don't make whiteness the standard of mixed race. And have you ever noticed how in the unambiguous black community, when it comes to their own people group, they try to make unambiguous blackness their standard, right? And then when it comes to white people, they make white people their standard. But then when it comes to mixed race people, suddenly it's, oh no, white people are the standard of mixed race. So if you don't look white, you're just a regular black woman. As if that's supposed to be an insult, or as if that's supposed to make you feel bad or make you feel inferior. No. And my definition of quote unquote looking mixed, it just means you have a mix of both black and non-black features. And it's funny how when it comes to darker skinned exoticals, suddenly people want to act like they don't know what black features look like. Or they want to act like, oh no, you can look like anything. Everybody came from black people. Okay, so then if everybody is technically black, including white people, then I don't want to hear anything else about racism, colorism, texturism, or featureism. Anyway, this person says, Exoticals United just formed a place for those who might feel left out of the unambiguous category. Exactly. I have never been called unambiguous in my life. I've never been called dark-skinned in my life. I've never, I constantly have, I do have a mixed background, but I've constantly had people questioning my background or my ethnicity. I get left out of conversations about things like colorism or black issues. And I feel that my experience is probably applicable to a lot of people who have my background as well. And also, I'm not one of those supremacists who, like I said, I don't revolve mixed race around being white or being half white or anything like that. Here on this channel, my goal is to celebrate the diversity within the mixed community because first of all, in my own family, I have people who have a darker complexion who are still mixed. I have people who look like Chile. I have people who are white passing. I have people of all different skin tones and eye colors and stuff like that. And I'm not ignorant enough to assume that being mixed only means 50% white and 50% black. But a lot of people who are not mixed or people who don't really have any mixed race friends or family members, they've never met or been around a mixed person who is mixed race and they are not 50% of one thing and 50% of another thing. So this channel, it actually is for mixed people of all kinds. And so I just think that people who are monoracial or people who are not multicultural and stuff like that, they won't understand that. And that's okay. That just means that the channel is not for you. So you should go back to the Black women empowerment spaces probably. Anyway, this person says she's confused. She says people who look nothing but black are ambiguous all the time. Examples? Oh, okay. So here's an example that they gave. They said, bruh, she said Lori Harvey was ambiguous. I'm sorry, Lori Harvey looks unambiguous according to who? Lori Harvey, in my opinion, looks extremely ambiguous. The average monoracial, unambiguous black person does not have light skin, green eyes, and type 2 to type 3 hair. This is what I'm talking about when I say that a lot of people in the unambiguous community, they try to clout chase off of the beauty of the phenotypes of people who are clearly mixed. Lori Harvey's mother, if I'm not mistaken, is also mixed race. So she is clearly multi-generationally mixed. I'm not sure exactly what's in her background, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe her mom has like blonde hair and blue eyes or blonde hair and green eyes, or, she's obviously mixed. And so Lori Harvey obviously inherited some of the features of her mother. So yes, in my opinion, Lori Harvey does look very ambiguous because you see people in different ethnicities who look similar to how Lori Harvey looks. This person says, in my opinion, Lori Harvey can pass as mixed, but I wouldn't say she is ambiguous. Just admit that your version of ambiguous means looking white. A lot of people who say things like this, all you have to do to shut them up is ask them, what looks ambiguous? Name names, name skin tones, name hair textures, name people who looks ambiguous and what makes them look ambiguous. Just admit that the only thing that you feel makes someone look ambiguous is whiteness. And I don't go by that standard. Like I said, white people are not my standard. I don't revolve my life around the white gaze. I don't revolve my life around how I compare to white people. And I don't do that with mixed people. Only unambiguous people who feel inferior to whiteness, or people who have inferiority complexes about their non-whiteness, those are the only people who do that. I don't have inferiority complexes about not being white passing, and so I'm not going to pass on that rhetoric onto mixed people when I know that a lot of mixed people do not look like Taylor Swift or Halsey. This person said, sadly, when some people say ambiguous, they're really just describing conventionally attractive. In my opinion, I think when people say ambiguous, most of the time they're just describing whiteness, and they won't admit that that's what they're describing. And then someone said, mixed with what? Black and black? They're talking about Lori Harvey. So in my opinion, Lori Harvey looks very mixed, but okay. And then this person says black and something else. She has a similar look to Stacey Dash. Yeah, Stacey Dash is also mixed, so nice try. Stacey Dash looks mixed. She has heavy Native American ancestry, but Lori looks like a typical light-skinned ADOS woman with admixture that most Americans have seen every day. This is false. You definitely don't see people who look like Lori Harvey every single day, no matter what city you live in. And this is a part of why some of these people are like famous. I love when people use this argument because it's so easy to debunk. If every unambiguous woman, or if most quote-unquote black monoracial women looked like Beyonce, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. My channel wouldn't even exist. Colorism wouldn't exist because we would look like we're in Brazil or something. We would all look like how Beyonce looks, or everybody would kind of look the same, or everybody would have kind of this multi-generationally mixed look. But I already debunked the whole slavery talking point in another video. It takes a lot of admixture for you to come out to the point where you literally have green eyes or something, or blue eyes, or whatever color eyes Stacey Dash has. No, to say that women like Beyonce, Rihanna, Stacey Dash, Lori Harvey, all these people with these light eyes and slimmer noses and all that, to say that that's how the average black woman looks, like, oh, I see her every day, the everyday woman looks like her, that's completely disingenuous. Someone said, yep, and she's trying to recruit more people for her movement. I'm not sure if she's talking about me trying to recruit people to be a part of this channel, but hey, the subscribers are coming, baby. They're not going anywhere. Someone says, I don't see black women with 3A curls every day, not even every other day. Exactly. When I went to an HBCU, I would say over 90% of the people at the HBCU I went to, over 90% of them were, unambiguous looking. So dark skin, like chocolatey skin with 4C hair and wider, flatter noses. A lot of them had an African American background as well, because you know how some people try to say, the majority of African Americans are mixed race. They did not read that article properly. The article says that the majority of people who were surveyed, which was only a couple thousand people, had mixed race ancestry. It didn't say the majority of the millions of African Americans in the United States. First of all, there are not even millions of African Americans who fill out the U.S. Census. Why on earth would millions of African Americans, most of whom are impoverished or in underprivileged situations, why would they even be spending their time and bill money on taking a DNA test? That's number one. So that's how I know that whoever says that talking point, they just copied it from a YouTube comment somewhere. They obviously did not read the actual article. And this person says, our problem is that we can't accept that ADOS can be mixed. Exactly. A person can have an African American background and still be mixed. All that means is that you had multi-generationally mixed African Americans getting together with other multi-generationally mixed African Americans, and then they create a baby who is a multi-generationally mixed African American, and then that person has a baby with another multi-generationally mixed African American. I've talked about examples of that on this channel. Girls like Tila Dunn. Tila Dunn got made fun of because this was before being mixed race was like accepted. And she talked about how in her family members have black ancestry and German ancestry. And people were making fun of her like, no, shut up. Like you're not mixed, or like you're trying to be white. But it's like, no, her actual parents, both of her parents have both blackness and whiteness in them. And then all four of her grandparents, same thing. They had blackness in them and whiteness in them. And this person says there's a difference between being mixed and ambiguous. Ambiguous means people can't tell what race you are. A lot of mixed people are ambiguous, but not all. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't say on my channel, all mixed people look ambiguous. No, I say that the stereotype is that people who quote unquote look mixed. When people say that, they're trying to say that you look like you could be multiple different things, or I can't quite pinpoint what you are. But I'm not silly enough to think that every single person who is mixed race automatically looks like multiple different things. No, just like there can be white passing mixed people, there can be black passing mixed people. Being white passing, what that really means is you look like you are a monoracial white woman, or you look like you could pass for a monoracial white woman, like Halsey. And then black passing means you look like you could pass for a monoracial black woman. So maybe you have a darker complexion, or maybe your features are also more aligned with what people stereotype as being an unambiguous black woman. I talk about that on this channel all the time. Mixed people are not a monolith, but all mixed people are welcome on this channel as long as you can relate to the content. This person also said, she said, ADOS people are technically mixed, but usually aren't ambiguous because everyone can tell they're ADOS by looking at them. So I would want to ask this person, what's their definition of mixed race? Because the reason that I use the percentage on this channel is so I can create a clear distinction between what I view as mixed race and who my core audience is and other people. So that's why I personally on this channel use the 25% mark as my definition of mixed race, because I feel like at 25%, that is such a huge chunk of admixture to where you can't even, there's not even an argument at that point. Like if the admixture is lower, I can see how some people might argue with that, but 25% is like, no, your own parents probably don't even look like you. You don't even look like both of your parents at that point, or you don't even look like your grandparents at that point, or you could potentially have a grandparent from a whole other country who speaks a whole other language, who partially raised you in the house speaking that language, like how we see a lot of people with a Latin American background doing. So it's like, no, I feel like at that point there is no argument. But on this channel, I do differentiate between mixed race and admixture. I do believe that lots of people can have admixture. Yeah, you can be 94% African and 6% white. However, on this channel, I highlight the differences between those who have a very high admixture, which I consider to be around the 25% mark, because I feel like around that 25% mark, that's when crazy things start happening with people's phenotypes. That's where you see people coming out looking like Rihanna or looking like Beyonce. Like maybe one sibling looks one way and then the other sibling looks a different way because you've got so much admixture in there. It's like, it's like a melting pot at that point. So that's just my opinion though. And also the 25% rule, I got that from the petition actually that was going around at the time that I started this channel. That petition was being passed around on Chrissy's channel, where they were saying that over there, they were saying they want mixed people like myself. They want us to separate from their community because they didn't like how mixed people were like taking over, or, taking over black spaces or whatever. And they wanted to have a different category for each background. And on that petition, if you look at what it said on there, their starting point was at 25%. So that's where I got that from. Also, in the United States, if you have Native ancestry, a lot of the Native tribes, they will give you like a tribal card, and you can have access to certain benefits if you have the 25% mark. So that's where I got that from, because I feel like it's very difficult. It's damn near impossible to argue that somebody is not mixed if they have a 25% admixture rate. What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.